everyone.
Hello.
It's Vanessa and Lawrence today with the Lunch With, and today's subject is going to be about...
We're going to be talking about when can someone start calling themselves a senior. And there's a few reasons why we thought this would be a really interesting topic to talk about, because we quite often get a lot of creatives approach us, and I think a lot of people equate the experience of time they've been in the industry with whether or not they should have that title. And I honestly don't believe that length of time in the industry necessarily equates to quality. And so I think it's an important discussion to have.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the different aspects of that. And also, when I know myself, last week I advertised for a midweight designer, so we can talk about the difference between a midweight and a senior. But yeah, as Lawrence said, it's not just about the amount of time. If you've worked somewhere for 15 years, it doesn't automatically make you a senior. There are so many more aspects that go into that. Like, some people can call themselves a senior designer or creative, and they may have not have had enough experience and enough projects to actually call them a senior. They may have worked on maybe one client and one or two really big, long projects. That doesn't make you a senior because you haven't had that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
A senior could also be somebody that is younger, and we're not talking about age. A senior can also be somebody that has worked in like New York and London and Singapore in a very short amount of time, but for big brands, and the turnover of work is very heavy and there's a lot of it. Then they would become senior because they're qualified to say they've worked on that amount of...
Yeah, absolutely. For me personally, I see a senior as being someone who has a conceptual skill. They may often be involved in the briefing process with the client and be involved in scoping out a project as well, and may be involved in coming up with that initial concept, the idea, and beginning to develop that, and handing it then to a midweight who will be able to take it through that whole rollout process as well.
And to touch on that, you said be client-facing. A senior can also be presenting to clients and having conversations with clients. Some senior designers that have been designers for a long time may not actually want to be client-facing. They may just want to roll things out and be on the tools. Also on that point, a senior could be managing other members in the team, and also managing interns or mentoring other team members.
I think mentoring is the key word there. For me, really, a senior will have that ability to mentor the midweight and the more junior people there as well. And I see being a senior is almost being a certain mindset as well. There's a leadership mindset that's involved with that. Very few people are born innately gifted as a graphic designer. Quite often they'll invest a lot of time and a lot of energy into their own professional development, especially around that whole idea, that philosophy of creativity. And that I think is a very important aspect of being a senior.
But you may also still have seniors that just want to be on the tools. They actually don't want to be client-facing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what encompasses a senior is very different, and it depends on what we're needing.
I think it also depends on the environment that they're in.
The environment, the client, the agency.
A senior in a design studio is going to be a very different beast, perhaps to a senior in a corporate in-house environment, or a senior in an advertising environment as well.
Yeah, so I think I covered nearly everything. Did you have any more questions?
I think one of the things I always ask people is, why is it important to be seen as a senior? What is it that you believe you get out of having that particular title? Because I think a good designer is a good designer, regardless of if they're a junior, mid, or senior. Some people I see are great designers, but it's still definitely at that midweight level. That's nothing to be ashamed of. That's part of this.
That's also needed. You need that as part of the team. You can't have a senior without a mid and a junior.
It's part of that journey
or else you're just
as well.
A designer.
Why are we in such a hurry to get to our destination? Let's enjoy that process that goes through that.
Yeah.
But I guess if people are keen to become seen as seniors, or above that, even as we start to explore into areas of art directors or creative directors, what should they be doing to get there? Look, I think it's really about continuing to push and develop your creative ability.
And they may even, seniors may have even sidestepped during their career into something else and then realised that's not what they wanted to do, or they gained something from that to then take that step up to be a senior. And also, seniors will have had the experience not only on working on great projects, they would have also had the experience on working on challenging projects, or projects that may not have actually been seen as successful. That can also make you a senior because you've had that experience.
Yeah.
So it's not all, you're doing great stuff. It could be, you've worked with really challenging agencies or challenging clients and in difficult situations, which actually gives you that seniority to be able to deal with anything that comes your way.
I think it's important to be realistic about where you're at, because if you are not a senior and you're applying for senior roles and you go into that environment with their expectation that you're going to be able to do what they believe you can do and you can't, it's going to become a really awkward, uncomfortable and confronting experience for you. There's no shame in finding that you're not at that level yet. People take a lot of time and energy and work to get there, even if they make it look really, really easy. So I think if someone says to you, you have beautiful work, but you're not a senior yet, don't take that as a personal criticism of you. Perhaps even ask them, what is it that you see is missing from it so far that doesn't make it that yet? And if they have the time to respond to that, then listen to what they have to say and perhaps consider it.
And also vice versa. We've had very senior creatives that actually just want to be more hands-on. Senior may also mean a lot of administration and not actually being on tools and getting the work done. So
you know what I think that is? I think when people start their careers, quite often they're driven by the awards.
Yep.
They're driven by the
and
accolades.
Titles.
They're driven by the title. And then as they get older and their life evolves and changes, especially things like children and family, then what they find meaningful in their life changes, and it doesn't become so much about the awards and the accolades. It just comes about doing good work
and about the responsibility. As being senior is also a big responsibility. Some people may not want that. Especially creatives are not actually taught to be leaders and administrators and working in dealing with staff. They may actually, they think, oh yes, I want to be a creative director or I want to be a senior, but then you actually find out what that encompasses and then I don't want that. I just want to be hands-on and make beautiful work.
It is weird because what seems like a really straightforward, simple question like, when does a senior become a senior? We're really tapping into, questions about people's identity and self-work and hierarchy and all those kind of bigger, more philosophical questions.
And what do they want out of life
think.
and what do they still want to achieve? And some people don't have to be super duper ambitious, but just do absolutely fabulous work, and that's okay. That's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're probably sitting there.
Question. We had a lot of discussions before we actually came on video about this. So it's a good topic.
You might be sitting there eating your ancient grain salad and thinking, "Dear Lord, this is getting just a little bit too deep and meaningful and philosophical for us." But it is, we're talking about essentially labels that people wear and are awarded.
And it's an open question. It's a great question to answer. When do you become a senior?
Go to any party where there's a whole lot of graphic designers, and the two questions that are going to really get debate going is when is a senior, and what's the greatest font of all time? Yeah. Those two questions. Try it.
The whole night.
Try it. We'll go all night. Yeah, but all your non-designer friends are going to be completely bored and think you're a pack of geeks, and everyone else.
But the debate will go on for hours.
Exactly, and perhaps get vicious. We don't know. So we'll let you finish off your ancient grain salad right now, and say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and of course, if you have any questions or if you have any feedback or what you think makes a senior, we would love to hear about it below on the
excellent
questions.
Bonus points if you do it in video form as either a song or interpretive dance. We'd really like
Fantastic. We'd be super impressed by them. Okay.
Excellent.
Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.